So what is the sustainability mindset and why should we develop it? Let me start with a definition. We are all familiar with the Brundtland Commission definition from 1987, that it is sustainable development is development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Now, I don't like that definition so much. I think so much has happened since 1987. So I recreated it, and I talk about a development that restores the resources used, reshapes the needs, does more for more with less. So why is sustainability important? Well, we all are very well aware of the planetary challenges that we are having, but I have found out that there is a dissociation, and what we don't always connect is how our behaviors, our daily decisions impact what is happening, and especially when we talk about our students. People have all sorts of reactions, and many times when we talk about sustainability, we have individuals who connect it with climate change and say this is a scam and they don't believe in science, etc. However, I think that there is a confusion, because to think that climate change is the only connection to sustainability, we have many planetary challenges currently that relate to our unsustainability, as you can see it here in this cartoon. And I will leave you a few moments so that you can explore these different challenges portrayed. There are other ways to deal with it. For example, just to take it as a win-lose situation where, well, we are superior and we won, and nature or species just lost. This is very myopic, since we have to understand that every single action in this world depends on nature, and we wouldn't be able to do anything without nature. So this takes me to the next section of this webinar. I will share with you how I came to this concept of the sustainability mindset. My doctoral dissertation was focused on this question: why do leaders engage in sustainability initiatives, particularly if no one asks them to do so? What I wanted to understand is, what did they know? What motivation did they have? What persuaded them to go in the business as unusual way, and champion sustainability initiatives in their own organizations that changed the way the company was operating. I thought that if we understand what was happening, what they knew, maybe there would be some aspects we could intentionally develop in the next generation of leaders. I did my research at Columbia University Teachers College, and I studied 16 business leaders that had championed in a successful way sustainability initiatives that made major changes in their own organization. They were CEOs, presidents, founders, or directors, or executives at the VP level. And it was a qualitative exploratory study. What I found was very interesting. There was something about the information, their level of eco-literacy. But it was not only the information that they had. They also had a sense of a full picture. There was not an in-depth understanding, but it was a broad spectrum. If you think about this slide with the cartoon with the woman having all these words about child labor, on climate change and GMOs, they had a full picture. They said there is something wrong and they were connecting the dots. At the same time, I found that they had a particular way of thinking. They were analyzing data through a lens of system thinking. That means they were interested in looking at the both and logic. It was not an either planet or profit. They knew that they had to think from a both and logic perspective. Also, they were very aware, or they had discovered, that there was an interconnectedness between the different factors. They were thinking not only in the short term, but also in the long term. And they had become aware of the cyclical flow. That means that there are feedback loops, that there are not only linear connection between events or facts. Also, in terms of their thinking, I found that they had a very innovative thinking. They may not be, perhaps they were not creative people, but they realized that we had to reinvent almost everything, because the way we were producing, consuming, and living was not sustainable. So that helped develop some kind of versatility, think in a creative way out of the box, and also engage the right brain in a more holistic way of thinking. One of the surprising aspects of the findings in my study was related to the being dimension. In the being dimension, I found that these individuals at some point understood their oneness with nature, that we were not separated, but we were part of nature. They became very reflective. They were not always reflective from the beginning, but at some point things happened that they became more reflective. Also, they were very introspective, and they developed a number of introspective practices that deepened their self-awareness. They were asking themselves about the purpose. Why am I here? What is my mission? Why do I have the skills that I have in this role? What may be the larger purpose that I am meant to fulfill? They had mindfulness practices, they quiet their mind, and they also developed a sense of collaboration with others. Just to give you an example, one person said, I wish someone would have asked me when I was young, in my 30s, what is my purpose? I could have developed this reflective way of being sooner, and could have started sooner, not when I am in my 50s. This concludes part 2 out of 4, and in the next section I will introduce the program to develop the sustainability mindset.